It is late, and the house has gone quiet. The lights are low, the day is finally over, and in the soft dark of the nursery, your baby's father is swaying slowly back and forth, your little one tucked against his chest, their eyes growing heavier with every gentle step. To him, this is simply the bedtime routine, the very last task of a long day before he can rest too. But to your baby, something quiet and profound is taking place in his arms. They are not only being rocked to sleep, they are learning, in the deepest way a person ever can, that the world is a safe enough place to close their eyes and let go. Welcome to Father Mind, where we step inside the wordless bond between a baby and their dad. If you would like to understand that bond more deeply, subscribe and stay close. Because what your baby feels as their father rocks them to sleep is so much more than simply rest. The first thing to understand is that sleep, for a baby, is an act of letting go, and a baby will only let go when they feel completely safe. We tend to think of falling asleep as the easiest thing in the world, but for a small child, it is not. To fall asleep is to release your hold on everything, to stop watching, stop listening, stop guarding, and surrender yourself entirely to the dark. And no creature does that unless some deep part of them feels protected. This is why an anxious or unsettled baby fights sleep so hard, twisting and crying against it. They cannot let go because they do not yet feel safe enough to. You have surely seen it happen, the squirming and the fussing, the little fists fighting the inevitable. But held against their father's chest, wrapped in his warmth, feeling the solid strength of his arms around them, something in your baby begins to soften. The guarding stops. The little body that was holding on so tightly begins at last to release, until the heavy eyelids finally lose the battle. He is not simply rocking them toward sleep. He is making them feel safe enough that sleep can finally come. And that is the first and most important thing that has to happen before a baby can rest at all. The second thing your baby feels is the comfort of the ritual itself. Babies find an enormous, almost magical reassurance in things that happen the same way every time. And bedtime, more than any other moment of the day, is built out of repetition. The same warm bath, the same dimming of the lights, the same soft blanket and its familiar smell, the same being lifted and held, the same slow sway from side to side. To your baby, this familiar sequence is not boring, it is deeply soothing. Each step is a small, trusted signpost, telling their body what is coming next, so that nothing has to be braced for and nothing has to be feared. When their father carries them through that same gentle routine night after night, he is giving them one of the safest feelings a baby can have, the feeling of knowing exactly what happens now. There is no surprise here, no uncertainty, only the same loving hands doing the same loving things they always do. And in that predictability, your baby's whole nervous system begins to unwind because their father's bedtime ritual has become a promise their body has learned to trust. They begin to slow down to match him. A baby's heart beats much faster than a grown adult's, and when they are tired and wired and fighting sleep, everything inside them is racing. But pressed against their father, they can feel the slow, steady thud of his heartbeat and the long, even rise and fall of his breathing. And little by little, their racing system begins to fall into step with his. The people who study babies call this co-regulation, a little one borrowing a grown-up steady body to settle their own. And there is no clearer place to see it than a father rocking his child in the quiet of the night. He is, quite literally, calming their body down with his own, lending them his slowness, his stillness, his steadiness, until the storm inside them quiets enough for sleep to slip in. Your baby cannot calm themselves down yet. If this is warming your heart, do one small thing for me before we go on. Share this video with a father or with someone who loves one, with no idea of the quiet, powerful gift they are giving, and there is something beautiful in helping them see it. The fourth thing your baby feels is the deep, low rumble of his voice in the dark. When their father hums a soft tune, or murmurs a few quiet words, or sings the same gentle song he always sings, that low sound becomes an anchor for your baby in the darkness. They cannot see much in the dim room, and their other senses have begun to dim along with the light. But that voice, deep and familiar and steady, is still there, surrounding them, holding them just as surely as his arms do. They do not only hear it. Pressed against his chest, they feel it, a soft vibration humming all through them. And here is something tender. That same song, hummed 100 times in the dark, can stay with a person for the whole of their life. A melody they may not even remember learning, that still, somehow, has the power to make them feel safe. In a dark and quiet world that could so easily feel lonely or strange, your baby has something to hold on to, the steady, rumbling presence of their father's voice, telling them, without any words they could understand, that they are not alone in the dark, and that everything is exactly as it should be. It is one of the simplest and most comforting sounds your baby will ever know. The fifth thing is the most profound of all, and it is happening in the very moment your baby finally surrenders to sleep. Think about what falling asleep truly asks of a person. It asks you to let go of all your awareness, to release every defense, to become completely helpless and unguarded in the presence of another. There is no more vulnerable thing a living being can do. We give that kind of trust, as grown adults, to almost no one. We lock our doors and guard our sleep. And your baby will only do it, will only truly let themselves fall in the arms of someone they trust with absolutely everything. So when your baby's eyes finally flutter closed against their father's chest, and their little body goes soft and heavy with sleep, they are not just drifting off. They are making the most complete statement of trust that a human being is capable of making. They are saying, with their whole surrendered self, I am safe enough with you to disappear, to stop guarding, to let go of the entire world and trust that you will keep me. There is no greater gift of faith than that, and your baby gives it to their father freely, completely, every single night. The sixth thing your baby learns, over many nights, is that the dark is not something to be afraid of. For a small child, the darkness could so easily be a frightening place, full of unknowns, empty of all the comforting sights of the day. But your baby is learning a different lesson entirely, because every night, in the dark, their father is right there. As they drift and stir and surface and sink again, some part of them keeps sensing his presence, his warmth, his steady breathing close by. When they wake in the night and feel him near, the small spike of fear melts away before it can even take hold. And slowly, night after night, the darkness stops being a place of fear and becomes a place of safety, simply because that is where their father always is. They are learning that the night is gentle, that the dark holds nothing to dread, and that even in the deepest quiet of it, they are held and watched over. It is a peace with the darkness that many people carry without ever knowing quite why, for the rest of their lives, and for your baby, it began here, in their father's arms. Before we come to the most important part of all, if seeing your baby this way has moved something in you tonight, take just a moment to like this video and to subscribe. It truly is the simplest way to help us reach the next parent who would love to understand the bond between their child and their father. And here is that most important part, the thing that gathers all 6 of the others together. When your baby falls asleep in their father's arms, they are doing something so much larger than resting. They are surrendering their entire self into his keeping, letting go of all awareness, all defense, all hold on the world, and trusting, with everything they are, that he will keep them safe while they are gone. It is the deepest trust one person can ever place in another, and in giving it, your baby is learning the most important lesson there is, that the world is a safe enough place to close your eyes and let go, that you can release your grip and still be held, that it is safe to rest. And this is the part that almost no father ever realizes. He thinks he is just doing the bedtime routine, just getting the baby down so the day can finally end. He has no idea that in those quiet minutes in the dark, swaying back and forth, he is becoming the very feeling of safety that allows his child to sleep, and teaching them in the deepest place a lesson can ever be written, that they are safe, that they are held, and that they can let go. So the next time you watch their father carry your sleeping baby gently to their crib, you will know exactly what you are seeing. You are watching a child learn to trust the world in the arms of the person who makes it feel safe. So if there is one thing to carry away from all of this, let it be this: tell him. Tell the father in your life what those quiet bedtime moments truly mean, because he very likely has no idea. He cannot see what we have seen here today, that every night, simply by holding his child until they sleep, he is teaching them that the world is safe and that they can let go in it. If this helped you see that bond a little more clearly, you will find its companion on our sister channel, Inside the Baby Mind, where we step inside everything else your little one is feeling in these early days, and one day, far down the road, on Senior Mind, where we sit with the quiet inner world of fathers who have grown old. Thank you for spending this time with us. Hold your little ones close, and we will see you next time.